The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Imagine a movie that is Catch Me If You Can crossed with Home Alone, and you get what Amber and Scott are discussing today, Roofman. It also made us nostalgic for wanting to be a Toys R Us kid again. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
These branding deals with movies is just going too far.
Well, I don't know if anyone wants to brand with a defunct brand.
Toys R Us and Blockbuster, who knows how much they paid for all the exposure they got?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll really increase business. Also, McDonald's. McDonald's got a lot of exposure.
But McDonald's still exists.
Well, and that's probably the kind of exposure they do not want.
I guess, actually, does Blockbuster still exist? I know they had the last one in Oregon, but I don't know if it closed yet or if it's still going.
I think it's still there.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, if you haven't figured it out yet.
And you probably haven't, because that's a pretty weird intro if you don't know what's going on.
That's true. Well, hopefully folks have seen the movie and they're here to enjoy the analysis with us.
And you should see the movie.
Yes.
But I'm not in the movie review show, but I'm saying you should see the movie.
All righty. So, welcome everybody. This episode we are talking about Roofman.
Roofman!
Jeffrey Manchester, a former Army Reserve soldier turned spree robber, earns the nickname Roofman by breaking into McDonald's franchises through their roofs. After escaping from prison, he secretly lives inside a Toys R Us while attempting to build a new life and romance, but the past crimes threaten to unravel everything.
Threaten?
Yeah, so long story short, he does a tour in the Army, comes back, doesn't have 2 cents to rub together, can't get his daughter a nice birthday gift, feels terrible, super bright guy, and he basically starts breaking into places to get money so he can be a good dad.
Yeah, robbing McDonald's for father points.
Yeah, and it ultimately catches up with him. He gets put away in prison, but he's super smart, and he finds a way out, and he realizes he's on the run. He needs to hide, so he actually hunkers down inside a display wall of Toys R Us.
That was kind of weird that existed in the fashion that it did. Like, that felt odd. But maybe, I don't know, I never did fixtures for Toys R Us, so.
I'm sure there's all kinds of things like that. Anyway, so he amuses himself by strolling throughout the aisles of Toys R Us in the evening, and then he hunkers down and stays in place during the day while the store is open. And in one of the ways he amuses himself is he gets these baby monitors and he sets them up to be able to listen in and see what's happening in the Toys R Us office, and starts knowing the people who work there because he's watching them through these monitors.
I'm watching you.
And one of the workers wants the mean manager to donate some toys to her church for a toy drive. The manager says, no, we sell toys, we don't donate toys. And so Jeffrey takes it upon himself to take toys from the store and donate them to the church, at which point he gets invited in. And then he just starts living the life of a social butterfly, even though he is a criminal on the run.
I find it funny that Jeffrey was hiding out with Jeffrey.
Jeffrey the Elephant. Yeah, no one made that joke.
I did.
Yes. For those who are too young, the giraffe for Toys R Us is indeed named Jeffrey.
But it's Geoffrey.
Yes, it's the fancy Jeffrey. So.
Indeed.
Okay, why are you here, Morty?
Oh, no, Morty's not here. You said fancy, so I just wanted to say indeed in a fancy way.
Oh, okay.
He has no purpose to being here.
I didn't think so. So, folks.
Neither do I.
Oh my gosh, what's happening? Why are you guys keep popping in here?
It was the weekend. I was bored.
Okay, you're confusing matters. I don't know what's happening here.
Go away.
Okay. All right, so.
Vaughn, don't even think about it.
Yeah, no. Bye, guys. Closed session here. So, anyway, we have a guy who is on the run. He's laying low, and he's trying to connect with a former military buddy who makes fake IDs and fake passports and can get him out of the country. But he needs to wait July, August, September, October, and on December 1st, he can connect with this guy. So 4 months he's hanging out in Toys R Us, but once he is brought into the church, then he's just like, okay, well, I go to church and now I'm going on a date. I'm meeting this girl's family. What the actual F? If you're on the run, learn to be discreet. Why would anybody do that?
Yeah, I know. That was, for a guy who was really smart, that was really dumb.
So dumb.
Because yeah, I mean, like, his face is fully exposed. He's
didn't color his hair.
A well-known criminal in that area.
That's been on the news.
How are you not discovered, like...
Immediately, you're going to a church, and sure enough, in real life, he was eventually turned in by a church member. But what would I do? I don't know. I'd continue to lay low and keep it in my pants so I could live to be free the rest of my life while my guy came back into town getting my ID so I could get out of the country and go to Venezuela.
In fairness, it's not like all of this was necessarily his idea. He was trying to stay low, and church members did what church members do, which is
bring them in.
Suck you in is what I was thinking.
One of us. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they were making them one of them. So, and he was just like, "Oh, okay. I am human. Let's do the humanity thing here."
Well, I don't know if I'm on the run and I just escaped prison, and for the prior month my face was all over the news. Okay, sure, I'd bring in the bag of toys for the woman in the high heels who didn't want to carry the bag of toys, but at that point I've got to say, hey, I gotta go now. You don't go into church where there's all of these people and then hang out afterwards. I know you're hungry. You've just been living on candy. But good gosh, what would I do? I would not go into the church and then hang out afterwards and go and get something to eat and then go to a singles mixer and then actually like go on a date with somebody. What the actual F?
Yeah, not really good decisions made there.
And that's actually the tagline of the movie. It's based on true events and bad decisions.
Yeah.
So many bad decisions.
But, honestly, even going to drop off the toys, which I'm fine with, like, screw the man. If the man is Jeffrey with the G.
I think the man was Mitch, who was the store manager in this case.
Mitch the bitch. I actually had a guy I used to call Mitch the bitch in my old professional life because he was an asshole. But neither.
I guess we just lost our G rating.
Yeah. When have we ever had our G rating?
When I talk.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, great. And now you've distracted me, and I don't know what I was going to say.
Yes, Mitch the B.
No, before that. Oh, yeah, I would have worn a ball cap to the church. Like one of those, like, really down on your head so that people can't really actually get, like, great looks at your eyes.
Well, it was fair enough to think he was just going to drop this off and then disappear and not see anybody. And that I can give him a pass at that point of not necessarily disguising himself. Or if he's hiding out during the day in the Toys R Us, not necessarily bleaching or shaving his hair. But I don't know, if after that point you decide you're going to start hanging out in the neighborhood, do something. Yeah. Shave your head, bleach your hair.
Well, okay, so...
Shave your face.
Like, we know he had a hat. Like
we know he had. Yes, because he stole clothing donations from the donations box.
Well, he had a hat when he left prison. So...
Yeah.
Like, that was something we already knew.
Yeah, I mean, it was a spray-painted hat. I don't know if you want to wear that all the time. But, yeah, what would I do? I would definitely make some better decisions. So, and I feel like I could say, what would you do for everything in this movie? And I would say, I wouldn't do that. I'd lay low until December 1st when my friend gets back in there and get a passport and get the heck out of the country and go to Venezuela. But here is one what would you do that I think is worth pondering that is beyond don't do that, is at the end, first of all, his friend, and I'm putting this in air quotes, who does passports, charges $5,000 for people for passports. But his friend says, oh, yeah, no, dude, I'm charging you $50,000 because, there's a lot of heat around you. What a crappy friend. What would I do? And then the friend says, don't use a gun to get the money, but I basically put you under my thumb where I'm giving you no choice because you have to get $50,000 to get this. Terrible friend. What would I do? I would say, you are a terrible friend.
Yeah. I mean,
I wonder how much of that is based on reality. Because no, don't use a gun, but somehow come up with $50,000.
well, don't get caught with a gun. I think was more the thing. I mean, honestly, don't get caught, period.
So at the end, Roofman, Jeffrey, who's going by John, does end up holding up Toys R Us, getting the $50,000, giving it to his friend, getting the fake ID, and he has to get on a plane on Christmas Day because there are a series of people lined up down the road to help facilitate his exit to Venezuela. And he sees that his phone is ringing with Lee, the woman he's been dating. So immediately I'm thinking, yeah, don't pick up the phone. What would you do? I would not pick up the phone. Then Lee says, oh, you're going to come spend Christmas with us? And I'm thinking, trap, don't go to Christmas.
Yeah,
he goes to Christmas, and then sure enough, he gets caught.
You had it all over her face when he was robbing them that she came in, she knew exactly who he was, and she ran in horror. That's not necessarily a good sign.
Yeah. I want to explore what would you do, but I just feel like every what would you do is going to end with wouldn't do that.
I mean, like, yeah, I would have, at that point, listen, I mean, his friend made the point, like his decision had already been made.
What are you talking about?
Well, Steve said,
who makes the...
Yeah, when you did everything to give him the money and get everything ready for him to leave, like, you're not still deciding at that point. He's decided.
Yeah, he didn't, Roofman didn't want to leave tomorrow on Christmas, and his friend Steve, who gave him all the docs, said, yeah, you go now, because this is when everything's lined up. And he was hemming and hawing and blah, blah, blah. For a guy who's so brilliant to be so stupid with, this is your chance at freedom. Like, you mess this up, you go back to being incarcerated for decades. I think this falls into the category when I always say people can't keep a freaking secret. They can't keep a secret. They just can't. You cannot trust people to keep their freaking mouth shut. And I think this is the same thing. It's like, just have your sense of survival. Because he wasn't a violent guy. He was a criminal. But even when he held people up, and, you know, if they got put in the freezer at McDonald's, he was like, everyone get a jacket. Oh, you don't have a jacket? Take my jacket. Like, he was a nice guy. He wasn't a bad guy. He was just made a lot of bad decisions, and some of those based in trying to be a good dad. But be smart enough, have a stronger sense of self-preservation to realize that this isn't playtime.
Yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't get involved with someone else. Like, you can't take on new relationships of any form, romantic or otherwise, when you're in his position. It was already clear that the guy was very emotionally driven. I mean, by the fact that his girl got an erector set instead of the bike that she wanted. So he was like, well, I want to give her the right...
He gave her an erector set. Not only just an erector set, his old erector set. No 8-year-old girl wants her dad's old erector set.
Yeah, probably not. That doesn't feel like it's an 8-year-old girl thing. But and so, I mean, his decision was then to go rob 45 McDonald's and get the money to buy the bike.
That's a lot of McDonald's.
I mean, I think he got a house in there somewhere, and...
Yeah, he definitely upgraded the house for sure. But it's you look toward the end, and the fact that he let his emotions drive him back to the house, thinking he was going to, I don't know, if spend a final day or a final couple of hours with the woman and her 2 daughters that he had really grown to care about. But
I mean, you have to know yourself in these situations. Like, he's got to know, okay, I am an emotional guy. I can be driven by emotions. I have to put myself in a position to not have that catalyst. So don't go on dates. Don't meet people. You just can't. It's self-preservation. I mean, really, that's...
Yeah, and in the real life, Jeffrey is in prison for another 11 years from now, and this happened...
Minimum.
Yeah.
Though more than likely, I feel like he's probably going to get paroled on it, just probably mostly because of the buzz from this movie, even though it'll be 11 years old at that point. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. he's either broken out or tried to break out of prison 3 times.
Yeah, the one time in the movie that was successful, and then 2 attempts
Afterwards.
since then. Yeah. What would you do? I would just eyes on the prize. Like anything else is a distraction.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And again, I mean, like, there were more things that you could see. Like, one of the first things he did when he broke out was he went back to his old home to see his daughter.
Yeah, and that's criminal behavior 101. They say, you know, when someone does something like start a fire, that the person will come back to look at what they've done, be like, oh, what's happening? And, you know, to see how the government personnel or firefighters or police handle the situation. That's textbook criminal behavior.
Yeah, I mean...
And going home, certainly.
I mean, the thing is that when you start getting emotions involved, smart or not smart kind of goes out the window. It's...
Well, you know, it's funny. When I was watching this guy, and he was brilliant. He was brilliant. Like, his frame was like, how many gallon, you know, how quickly is the water coming out of the hose? How many houses have chimneys? And he basically told Jeffrey, like, your superpower is you're super observant. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call you observant, but you're super smart. And some of the things that Roofman did to escape, to survive, like, all I could think about is that's so you. You are so resourceful that I think you could absolutely have fallen into the same path, along with the bad decisions about going on a date, because that also feels like you.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I've been called a cockroach for multiple reasons, most of them bad, but the one I'm bringing up is because I do tend to be a survivalist, and I tend to get through. It may not always be pretty, but I tend to get through most any situation.
That said, I think you would go on the date too. I think you're super smart, and I think you would make the same mistake. I think you would go on the date.
Here's the thing. I just never would have donated the toys.
That's true.
And that's not to
you
say,
are not altruistic at all.
And it's not to say that I wouldn't want to stick it to him, but like you.
Well, it wasn't sticking it to anyone. It was about doing something nice.
Well, no, it was about sticking it to Mitch too. Getting rid of a bunch of stuff there, and
like some people are just nice. They don't always have to stick it to somebody. Some of us are just nice and do nice things.
But if he hadn't heard Mitch be like, "We sell toys, we don't give them away," he wouldn't have donated it. It wasn't he was doing it just to be nice. He was doing it because Mitch was an asshole and said no. I don't know if that's true or not true. Well, it certainly seemed very apparent to me. But yeah, you just, man. When you're laying low, you got to lay low, and I know that. So, yeah, no, actually, I wouldn't go on the date. Maybe once I got to Venezuela. Yeah, no, you're right. You wouldn't have been out and about donating the toys, so you never would have had the opportunity to hook up with the girl. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, when your entire future is on the line, like, quick gratification doesn't mean much. That's true. Stay away from it.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.